Okay, we have been working on some refocusing and empowerment steps during January. And we've been having a fabulous time. Yes?
Yes.
And life is moving around you, yes?
Yes.
Okay. We prepared the soil, we gathered our power, we created a new space, we planted new seeds, new desires. Are you getting tired yet? Okay, good. Generally, have been getting our emotional body on board. This is all the work we've been doing. We've been getting our emotional body on board so that we could say yes to the dreams without the obstacles. That's been the goal. The hidden agenda among all of our lessons. Yes to our dreams without our obstacles. Today, Spirit wants to bring a new foundation of understanding. Understanding your power to impact and understanding your power of impact. Okay? So, this is from Spirit. Ready? Okay. When I was a kid growing up, which is a long time ago, the consciousness of mankind in America, my social structure, and I moved around a bit, so it was pretty much everywhere I lived. The idea was, you live. The earth is going to take care of itself. You know, the only thing they were worried about was population. They're telling everybody only have one kid or two, don't have any more. So that was the only responsibility that they were impinging upon us during that era. The rest of it was the earth is big and bad and it can handle itself. No worry. Now, as some of you all have come along, and as our children certainly have come along, that message has shifted a lot. It has come to be, you as an individual are completely 100% responsible for the future health of planet Earth. And that's a pretty metaphysical message, isn't it? Nope. It's not the earth can take care of itself. It's you are now responsible for your contribution to the health of our planet. And several years ago, not too long ago, the idea of our global warming situation was introduced, I think in the late 70s. It took probably 20 years to take traction. But a few years ago, they started talking about how each individual, each company, all of us are responsible for the CO2 emissions that we put into the air that are escalating the global warming, which is escalating climate changes, which is escalating challenges. There's an EPA website you can go to, and you can look at the area of the United States that you'll be living in 2050. And you can click on that and see what kind of problems your area will be facing at that time due to the projected global changes if they're not altered. Okay, great. Wasn't that awesome?
Yeah.
Okay. But the idea of personal responsibility, that each and every one of us can impact this. So, when I was working with Spirit, they wanted me to begin getting very specific about your carbon footprint. So, Reba Wright has graciously and lovingly given us a visual to work with. And I shall move this over here. I don't know. I just want everybody to be able to see. I'll put it right here. That'll be as far as I'm going with that. So, Reba's such an artist talent. So here we go. Education 101. Stand ready.
I'm ready.
Okay. Here is your carbon footprint. Isn't that fabulous? This shows you all the many ways that you contribute to the unsustainable energy and all the many ways you can counterbalance the contribution to unsustainable energy. So the first thing that we see is the fuel here. And this fuel represents energy that's consumed by you. Energy that you consume to keep going. So as we look at it, we can ask ourselves, are we doing something environmentally sustainable? Most of our fuel is not sustainable. Do you understand? Okay. So it's just, when we use this, we are adding to the CO2 production. We're adding to that. How we use our vehicle. Do we use it wisely? Do we take it and drive our child around so they go to sleep? No. Do we try to carpool when we can? Do we try to be mindful of how we're using our vehicle, you know, how we are taking ourselves about in the world. And for this as illustration of your carbon footprint, it really is about the energy that's emitted by the vehicle itself. Here we have our water. Are we aware of clean water? Do we clean our water? Do we purify our water? Do we take care of our rivers and lakes when we're in it? You know, this is all personal responsibility. Do we even take thought about our water? The CO2, our emissions from our cars, do we think about the emissions that directly come out? The thing that surprised me was electricity. The minute you hit a switch, there's CO2 emissions. Did you know that? No. I had no idea. Leaving a light on in a room contributes to this global issue that's going on. Okay? Here we have a truck that represents commerce. All the stuff that we participate in and demand as consumers in our world has a bio price to pay. There is an environmental impact for what we demand come to us, how far-reaching, all the things that we consume. The gas that we consume for the comfort of our homes. This represents that energy that we surround ourselves with. So all of this up here, can you just feel the energy? Can you see that you do have a foot in it? You cannot be in our world and not have a foot in it. And then we move into the green stuff. Do you, when you buy a product, see if it's less expensive? What do they call that? Friendly,
Eco-friendly.
Yeah. There's a tag on the products that are high energy, and they say whether they're
Eco-friendly.
eco-friendly, perhaps. Good. And when we think about our environment, do we use things that are biodegradable? Do we go that step to even be aware? Recycling. How many recycle? Great, awesome. Do you understand that the recycling actually assists in the global context? Recycling helps you pay back some of the energy you're using. And then we have the proper disposal of waste. Putting waste where it needs to be so it can be absorbed with the least amount of negative permanent impact. The least amount. Putting things where they can be reused, redefined, recycled, absorbed, blah, blah, blah. These things, as you do these things, counterbalance these things. And it is effective. There's a website you can go to where you can key in all your personal habits, and they'll tell you what your carbon emission number is. And people in North America, theirs is substantially higher than individuals in other parts of the world. And I wanted to read this with you. There is a website, and I can't quote the website. They were talking about the ozone levels in Atlanta. Ground level ozone is what it's called, which AKA is smog. So the main problem of our city in 2050 is ground level ozone. So we have not been concerned about our air quality until 1996 when the Olympics were coming. So it says that the organizers of the Olympics took great measures to reduce the traffic downtown, encouraging people who did not need to go downtown to work from home. And the studies showed that it was effective. Do you remember the big push? There's a big push. Don't drive, stay home, work from home, do the best you can. Traffic went down 22%. The ozone concentration went down 28%. And the emergency room for asthmatic attacks went down 42%. Wow. Now, I share that with you to show you how effective you are. How effective you are in our environmental consumption. We cannot control all of this, but we can control this. And we can make better choices here. Do you see? You can impact the health. Now, do you think Spirit wants to stop with that? No. Oh, heavens, no! No, no, no. Now, we shall look at another story. What we want to begin to realize is that not only do we have the carbon footprint, but we also have, here, I'll just put it over here. Okay. Can anybody guess? Spiritual footprint. And I know that you are going to want to just hold on to every single thing I say. So Reba is now going back into the room again to get your handouts. Because this little foot here is the same basic premise, but it is the reality. You have a spiritual footprint. And your spiritual footprint impacts the world. And you, just by driving with someone in your car, you can change how you impact the world by being aware of it. We're consciously more and more aware of the global impact of the green ideas, yes? Okay. So, and I didn't know if you could see up here, which is why we did a little handout so you can see back there. Everybody can take a minute to get pens out if you need. I'm teasing. Okay, so here we go. The fuel that we saw over here is still the source of energy that we need to sustain ourselves. We will either get it from God, which is represented by the sun, or where else are we going to get our energy to live from? Each other, from people. So either we bring in God love, or we become pulling energy to ourselves from everybody that we see. And I know you never do that, but I know you've met people that do. And you go, they just drained me. I feel totally drained. I don't know why I'm totally drained. They were hungry. That's why you're totally drained. Because they needed energy. We all need energy to live. And we don't always sustain it in here. We need to be fed. So our fuel is this. Now when we think about the fuel coming from our gas guy that we had just a minute ago, our little fuel machine, maybe we do need both of them up. Do I need both of them up to make comparison for you? Okay. Maybe we'll take care of us. So, when we think about this fuel guy and this fuel guy, is getting energy from God sustainable? Yes. Is getting energy from people sustainable? No. Well, somebody's going to get drained, and somebody's going to have to get energy from God. So, do you see? Okay. So, this is how spiritually we have to take responsibility. Then when we move into, look at the water. We're worried about clean water. Here we're worried about our emotions. I want you to think about your emotions, which is a water substance. Would you really drink what comes out of you emotionally? Think about it. If your emotions emitted a liquid outside of you, would you take them back in? Some of them. Most of us would say, nah, I'm not that good at emoting yet. But we have to have the same energy and attitude. We have to have the same consciousness. That I need to be as mindful of purifying my emotions as I am purifying the water that I drink. Do you see? And the same with our words. We have a little musical note that replaced the CO2 over there. Our words. Would you really want those words to come back to you? And Spirit said, do you want to breathe back in the words that come out of your mouth? Is that the air you want to come back to you? Just like, do you want to breathe back in the emissions that come out of your vehicle? No. Okay. Spiritual responsibility, just these three. Are you feeling inspired? Yes. Okay. All right. When we go down to the vehicle now represents opportunities to take our light out into the world. You know, this is how we motor about in our physical environment. This is how we take our energy out into the world. And sometimes it's quite destructive, and sometimes it's quite magnificent. Just being mindful of how am I taking my light out into the world this day. Remember that, my famous story I shared about a year ago when I was going shopping, and I was not in a very good mood, and I was not happy. And I was on a targeted mission. I just wanted to come in the side door, didn't even go in my main entrance, to the mall, side door to the mall, get my thing, come back. I'm going into the mall, nobody's there, side door to the mall, and there's this guy coming toward me. His light's on, he's smiling. I know he's going to talk to me. Don't talk to me. Don't say anything, don't even see me. And he says, well, good morning. Okay. Now I have to recognize, realize, and accept I'm not who I want to be right now. I'm being less than. I want to be, and he's calling me on it by being nice to me. But think about how we take our light in the world. Sometimes we do go out that way. We don't intend to. We know we're the light. We know we're happy. We know we're the Christ. Sometimes we get so unaware of our impact on others. And so I said, oh, I'm happy, Lord, how are you? And then I sent him Reiki for out talking to me and making me aware I was being slouchy instead of happy. So this is how you take your light out. It's how you express. This will go through all your creations. All your creations. Have you ever been in a bad mood and are trying to do something and you're in a bad mood? And what kind of support comes to you? Obstacles or people in a bad mood? You know? This is how we take our light out. And then when we move to this was the electricity. I was shocked to realize how much electricity. This is how we brighten our world. Brighten our world. For us spiritually, this is our light bulb of inspiration. How do we keep ourselves inspired? How do we light the room when we come in? And energetically, we can literally do that by having a beautiful place to go to. Beautiful art on the wall. Things that keep us up in the outer environment. Make sense? Okay. All right. In our gas, which was the comfort of our home, how we, Reeb has a little sweet saying, you set it and forget it on your thermostat. You set it and forget it. It's something you take no thought to that provides you the comfort around you in your home. In our spiritual energy, it's the same energy. It's the comforts that surround us, and again, it's the set it and forget it. How do we set a stage for our spiritual energy to be comforted and supported so we take no thought? We can create environments spiritually where we are fed and supported. And we don't have to take a thought where our feet will land. We don't have to because we've already set the stage for it. Everybody take a breath. How are you feeling? Good. Good. Remember, taking 22% of the cars off the roadway helped the literal measurement of our air quality. Spiritual impact. If you changed one or two of these areas of your life, or even became aware that you are responsible for them, what could you do for your world? What could you do for the greater world? Okay. Love it. Okay. The truck is how we affect the whole. Remember, this is our commerce here. This is like what is happening with us in the community. Are we taking a good energy? Are we involved? Are we doing the stuff we love to do? Are we giving to our community? Are we receiving from our community energy that we love? Not worried about that. Energy. Energy flow of exchange. How we take, how we give. All right. We did the light bulb. Going down my list here. The leaf is relationships with Mother Earth. Did we do the leaf last time? Yes, we did. So this is our relationship spiritually with the planet. Do you love the planet? How often do you walk by the tree and not even recognize it's there? And then how often do you actually stop and go, oh, what a beautiful landscape, beautiful flowers, beautiful tree, and take just a minute to acknowledge it. And we can't do that every single time because sometimes we're on missions, but we can include it in our basic premise of how we act. Okay? The leaf also includes anything that you do that is what you would call green. Local farmers, anything that is gentle to the environment. Driving a sweet Prius car. You know, just anything in your... I'm getting a big no out there. Anything in your environment where you're consciously just being gentle with the environment. So it becomes low impact and loving support. We have the capacity with our green foot to have low impact. We have the capacity with our pink foot to actually support it energetically. Our energy contributing, our energy being expressed, uplifts the whole thing. This can actually counterbalance that. This, if everyone could take this and live that spiritual footprint consciously, we would find that in 2050, this wouldn't exist. And we wouldn't know how. Somebody would have created something. Something fabulous would have happened. This would have been resolved. Because when we live in the loving energy exchange, it counterbalances all matter. I am the Christ, I create matter. I am the Christ, Christ yields to the matter yields to my desires. We are the co-creators of our world. Just having a clear understanding that this is where I stand can impact everything. But if we do this to target that, I'm sorry, see, that's what happens. Conflict. You trip over yourself. You can't do this for the purpose of making this bad or wrong. You do this for the purpose of being. Okay? Well, we've got our recycle. Do you guys still recycle? Now recycle energetically. When you have energies that don't serve you, redo them, redefine them, reinvent them, pull them, put them someplace else. We've talked about that in the last couple of Sundays, how to resurrect and recreate. Recycle energy. Recycle energy. If you have a grudge, or you don't, or a wall against anybody, if you have a wall against anybody, it's not moving. Recycle it. It's very simple. Okay, I don't want to be stuck in this relationship not liking you forever. Let me just not worry about you. Let me give you to God, pull my energy back, and I'm going to reinvest that energy in something else. And it really is as simple as I say. We just have to decide. So this is recycling all of our energy so it stays current, so it stays moving, so it stays alive. Say, I can do that. I can do that. All right, well, heal. Did you see all the beautiful people? Thank you, Reba. Such a talent. Okay. The heal is, the other one is our waste. It's how we put things that we're complete with so they cause the least amount of harm. This is about right relationship with the planet. This is about right relationship with your fellow man. Having right relationships with everything, the people that you're involved with, everything that you do, limited negative impact, lovingly supporting each other, so nothing is wasted. No throwaway words. Don't waste your energy and time. Don't waste your energy and time. People don't want you to waste your time on them. You want to be aware of your energy, investing it where you want to go, do what you need to do, and stay in the cycle of honoring and respecting the energy of others. Okay. All right, so we have this beautiful footprint. Do you love it?
Yes.
All right. This spiritual footprint is how you impact the world even today. We could refine it perhaps. Maybe you could come up with a new idea we need to add to it. But it is how your spirit stands on the earth today. And the goal is your spirit should become brighter and lighter. And the green foot should become tighter and tighter. I should have minimal and minimal and minimal impact. It should be getting smaller and smaller and smaller. My carbon footprint. My carbon footprint should be smaller so my impact is greater. My spiritual footprint should get gigantic so my impact is greater. As we walk through this year and we begin to realize this is where I heal. This is where I take complete responsibility for what I'm doing in the earth. Complete responsibility that I can change anything. Your little feet that you have, if you just put that in a place where you will find it when you're sad. Someplace where you go when you're sad. Stick it on the wall, stick it in a drawer. And pull it out. And remember, I impact. What am I feeding my brothers and sisters right now? Do I want to drink what's coming out of me? Do I really want to breathe in those words again? Seriously. Am I doing all the things to inspire and sustain my spirit? Am I walking that higher light? And you can't stay sad if you know you have this. Because every single aspect gives you an action step to do. You can do an action step in every single aspect. You pick, you choose. Spirit trumps matter. Spirit created matter. This is all energy. God gives us this beautiful place where we can work in harmony with nature, with the earth, in harmony with life. And our spirit can recreate anything we've created. And we created that, and we created this. So, do you feel inspired?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we're going to be talking about our spiritual footprint for the rest of the year. Oh boy! Oh boy! How long did it take before the carbon footprint caught hold? 20 years. We're going to catch hold in one, okay? Spiritual footprint. Where I stand is holy ground, and what am I doing right here, right now? Spiritual footprint. Okay, let's go within. Put your feet on the floor and just feel a beautiful, beautiful light coming over you. A column of light that is filled with a sense of peace. And as the light surrounds you, image in, pretend. Pretend that you can be lifted up just a little bit so that you can just see your life. See yourself sitting in the chair perhaps, see the energy of who you are as you look down upon your energy field. I want you to lift up into God's heart and look down upon your energy field. And just see what you see. Feel it, sense it. You'll get information. And I want you to notice, what does my spiritual energy, my footprint look like? Ask to see how your spiritual self moves in the world. You may see colors, you may see stuck energy. Whatever you see, just acknowledge it. And now from your heart, just say, I would like to see my true self moving through that energy. Just imagine a beautiful light comes from your heart and goes into the energy field you're watching. And see what happens when your true self begins to move through the energy field around you. Is it different? Is it stronger? Just observe and let it go. Let the vision go and let your focus come back to your heart, the beautiful column of light that you're in. And just open to God love. Father, Mother God, we ask to be awake and aware of the infinite potential that is ours. We ask that divine light within, that beautiful divine light within, begin to express in all that we are. We ask to know our power by our presence in love. We ask to know our power through the presence of the love we have. And we ask to be a positive impact on this earth. And just feel the blessings moving through you. Feel that angelic support all around you. And just very gently come down your column of light back into your chair. And just notice your energy. Notice if you feel inspired, if you feel challenged. Just notice the energy around you. And I want you just to take a deep breath and breathe in that love of God. And just feel that whatever is yours to do, whatever is mine to do, I will do it in love. And we thank you, God. And so did you guys see changes when you put your higher self down there? Well, that was from Spirit to you, to empower you, and let you realize the great opportunity and responsibility that is yours to heal this planet, to heal ourselves. Say, yay, God!
Yay, God!